Welcome to Hattage Underground. This is the mighty Meta Baron.
This is Carl Cutter.
This is Voice the Villain.
And we about to get into the fuck shit. It's Friday. Most of you niggas got jobs that you hate. And you ain't got shit to do because if you did, you wouldn't be listening to our monkey asses. The topic of the discussion tonight is niggas top 5. Question mark. Question mark being the reason why we are going to discuss shit. Now, everybody understands that the whole ideology behind a top 5 list is subjective. Nobody should ever have the same top 5. Maybe you'll have 2 or 3, sometimes even 4 artists, depending on the closeness of the circle, where everybody has specific people in their top 5. But we ain't here to talk about subjectivity and all that other nice shit. We are here to talk about what is lauded and rightfully so as the most overrated top 5 ever. These are artists that you pretty much can find in 90% of people's top 5. 90%? Whether they are trapped in the 90s niggas specifically, most of the new kids now, and niggas that just don't have strong enough opinions about shit to where they can't defend the shit that they like. Top 5, in no specific order: Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z, and Eminem. The reason why these 5 are going to be the topic of the discussion, spanning careers, album sales, notoriety. Now, this isn't to discount Rakim, Kane, Cool G Rap, or any other legends in the GOATs. This ain't no shade towards LL. This ain't no shade towards nobody. But what we found is, if you don't have either most of these guys in your top 5 or any of them in your top 5, you're going to be on the receiving end of a shit ton of hatred and misunderstandings from people that just don't see your opinion. Like I just spoke on, a lot of times people have these guys in their top 5 as a means of shield, whether they believe in these guys being top 5 or not. I mean,
I think they it's warranted that they are in somebody's top 5 because of what they have done in the music industry. Like, it's kind of not debatable at a certain point, but everybody has their flaws. Like, does their flaws outweigh what they actually did? That's what we have to come to a discussion about.
And I mean, you know, I can respect that point of view because that's the point of view that I hold. But, you know, I can also understand if somebody says, well, you know, Biggie only had 2 albums. And I say 2 albums because he recorded and finished 2 albums. He had no input on Born Again because he was already gone. So we just gonna count the ones that he actually had a hand and recording, deciding the track listing, and everything else. It's pretty conceivable, specifically because the album came out so close to when he died. It was supposed to come out around the time, but, you know, he met his untimely fate. And then, you know, there are some people that feel, well, Jay-Z might not or shouldn't be in your top 5 because of the waning and waxing strength of his lyricism over the years. Some people feel that his money speaks more volumes than his art does.
He do. I think it's one of those things that we still praise in the hip hop community is money, cash, hoes. I mean,
it's a staple.
Not only, I mean, Money, Cash, Hoes was a legendary song, but I mean,
very legendary. It's
also the foundation of the post-Golden Age era where crass materialism is all that really counted. And I mean, based on the metrics, who on the top 5 list that we said wasn't about money, cash, hoes?
Well, Eminem. I was about to say, Eminem is probably the one that stands out to me. I mean, he could barely scrape together pills and all that shit that he's talking about, getting drugs and all, getting drugged up and all that shit.
And running through your occasional trailer park skank or whatever.
Right. I think Eminem is the only person on that list to make it just off of lyricism alone.
Technicality speaking, yeah, I mean, you know, regardless of how people feel about the subject matter and the music that he's making now, his display of lyricism and his technical acumen remains supreme. There are not many people within his genre that predate him or post-date him that can claim to the same. But obviously, when you have so much working against you, when you're perceived as a you got to be on point.
But let's address the elephant in the room. He's white.
Yeah. What does that have to do with it?
There's a lot to do with it.
It has everything to do with it, specifically because at the time that where he came out, there were several white MCs that were not able to cross over within the context of the contributors of the art form. Hip hop hadn't become so saturated like jazz and blues and rock and roll, where the paradigm was shifted away from them.
It's been many that tried, none that succeeded.
Shout out to Snow, R.A. the Rugged Man, Marky Mark, Vanilla Ice, Riff Raff,
Yellow
Wolf. Shout out to all you
like
fellas.
Yellow Wolf. He's funny.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out
Riff Raff
to
is my nigga though. Riff
I fuck with Riff. Shout out to Atmosphere. Shout out to Idea.
A$AP Rock. What's old boy from
Slug?
Yeah,
Bubba Sparks. What happened to Bubba
what
Sparks?
happened to Bubba Sparks?
I feel like Bubba just disappeared.
Bubba got some money.
Did he die?
Yeah,
or
he got some
something?
money and ran off. He probably got bread in the stock
All
market.
the rest of them like came out in that time, kind of like who else? Slim Thug. I mean, not Slim. Is this no?
Oh, Paul Wall.
Paul Wall.
And Lil White from 3-6.
I mean, no disrespect to Slim Thug. Slim Thug, a tall ass nigga. I don't want to disrespect.
But yeah, like the elephant in the room about him being white is most certainly a thing. But like I said, it only contributed to his fire and desire to want to distinguish himself from his peers. Like
he was white and he was good.
He's very good.
It was like,
I'm not discrediting his talent, but I just felt like that white edge gave him more.
Well, when you getting played on 7 stations on the FM band versus 2, maybe 3 if you got one of the stations that want to be on some jiggy nigga shit.
If he wasn't white, he would have been red, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I felt like Eminem was like the great white hope. Like I felt like
they needed one.
They
was
needed
like, we
a win,
one.
And
they
their
needed
one.
somebody to contest all the blacks that was coming in hard.
But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword of because of the status and the prominence that was given to him.
Right.
No other white MC was able to get on for a long time. I
mean, because
not
before
taken
him,
seriously,
right? Before him, I mean, who was holding the banner for the white community? Like,
R.A. the Rugged Man.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
R.A. still solid.
Vanilla Ice. I mean,
hey,
Vanilla Ice.
Ice doesn't get any credit because he had a #1 hit.
Vanilla Ice.
But he sold his units was hard. I mean, you couldn't deny his numbers.
What's the old boy from House of Pain?
Whitey Everlast.
Whitey Ford.
Everlast.
Yeah, but I mean, you couldn't deny.
But by the way, if most of you niggas out there is perplexed at the fact that we know and we can name more white MCs than y'all got fingers, toes, ears, and eyes, it's because we know what the fuck we talking about.
Yeah, I'm a hip hop historian.
I feel that
I'm just a shit talker.
I feel that hip hop being so integral to most of our lives, it makes you want to be a historian if you give a fuck about it. Like it's the historians are the closest things to cultural preservers. So
you know what? After all this top 5 talk, where's the women?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
And where's the white women?
Ooh, where's the
I don't want to be the first nigga to scream where the white women at.
Oh, that's a good question. I think.
Well, we're gonna have to blaze that saddle.
Man, that's the tough one.
Given that women are the most notable topic in hip hop now, let's jump right into the discussion. Well, women in hip hop went from the real Roxanne, Shantae, Light, Brat, and now we in this new age, Queen Latifah. But now with the battle rap scene and a lot of LGBT things getting pushed into hip hop. I mean, it's because
I blame Queen Latifah for that.
It's because
I blame Queen Latifah.
If anything, we have to note that women were the gateway to LGBT themes being prominent in hip hop, because it damn sure wasn't gonna be no dude. I mean, outside of the quote unquote gay rapper, outside of the quote unquote gay rapper rumors and Mr. C and the tranny chasers allegedly and everything like that. You gotta throw it out there.
Can't forget about Bambaataa.
I mean, we don't want to. I guess we don't want
to.
We don't want to take away our sorry for our trans. Do we even have transgender viewers now? If we did, that would be great because that means we in a bigger place. Shout out to
all the niggas,
to
the
all the
bitches,
trannies
the bitch ass
that's
niggas,
on
and the
what
niggas
we
ass
did,
bitches that is listening to us right now.
Shout out to all you moonlight ass niggas.
Yeah.
Right. Jizzing in the sand. We appreciate
we appreciate you because I mean,
Didn't 50 Cent make a video game called Jizz in the Sand?
I think he
blood
did.
in the
wasn't
sand,
it?
jizz in the sand. It might have been. But I mean, you know, like they've been an integral part of the culture from the beginning as far as fashion, dance. There's probably been some saucy niggas out there that's been pinned some of the most legendary bars ever. I ain't gonna discount it, but you know, with the rise of people like Young Ma has a foot in the game where Caution never could. And I mean,
but she got like actual bars.
She got bars, but I mean,
bars.
She's
Like,
an above average rapper.
She's an above average rapper in
right,
a time
but for
where
this timeline.
Yeah, where no one gives a fuck
she's
about
amazing
bars.
for this time.
Yeah,
And she's a preserver of the masculine energy that people fuck with hip hop for, while everybody else is swinging and fucking wearing skirts and tight jeans. Not that I got nothing against you niggas, but
I allow it, Young M.A. because I think she kind of even though she wouldn't fit like in the 90s or early I don't think she would.
Might.
Yeah, but like far as like contested against,
they even had Brat on the beat.
They had. I think Brat would have killed.
It took a while though. Like at first they accepted Brat for what she was. They accepted TLC.
Right.
They accepted.
But Brat had to be ushered in.
You know, I mean, she got ushered in by Jermaine Dupri.
Right.
Everybody get ushered in by somebody.
Right.
And I mean, you know, the women now. I mean, they're the most notable topic that's going on in hip hop right now, specifically because of Remy and Nicki. Specifically because of Remy and Nicki.
And Nicki doesn't need to be the topic of anything. Actually,
you don't think so?
No, because Nicki isn't good. Like Nicki,
I can't say that. Nicki is entertaining.
She's entertaining to watch.
But I mean,
she's got some,
there's nothing to being entertaining and good. There's nothing to that.
How do you say that?
That's the Kardashian argument. Like, is there anything is there a talent in marketing yourself correctly?
Yes.
Yes, there's a talent, but are you actually good at making music? Nicki makes music that resonates with a certain audience, not with everybody. She alienates most.
I mean,
some of them. I don't think all of them.
You kind of want to discriminate and alienate the Fairweather fans. You kind of she specifically went after the drones that would die for the cause. She went for the blind loyalties, and I mean, you know, 25 million Twitter followers later, and all the Barbs, the whole army of the Barbs. I mean, we can talk shit about the Barbs in the Beehive, but man, you know how helpful it must be to have a standing army that's willing to fight on your behalf at any time?
She built it. I can't say anything about her building what she built. Like,
Little
B
built one.
Yeah.
You know, Little B.
That's marketing. It's all marketing, and you using what you do to create something. And that's what she did.
Task Force ain't no hoe. And, you know, Task Force and the TY BG Army is out there. And you never know who's a part of it. And, you know, everybody got online presence now. But, you know.
The whole Young Money, they're all like the same. Like, they're all like not that extremely talented, but they all have that extreme following. They all built that.
So you don't think Drake talented?
It's a question mark.
Yes.
I think Drake has.
He can deliver.
Drake has right. I was just about to hit that. Like Drake can deliver. I think Drake can.
I mean, he's been groomed. Like very few other people.
He's been very proficient at delivering.
Very few people have a decade's worth of celebrity grooming to prepare them for a rap career.
I think Wayne trained him well.
Well, even before Wayne, he was a child actor. So, you know, he was exposed to not only was he a child actor, he was a child actor that wasn't from the motherfucking hood and wasn't exploited.
Suburban child
He didn't end up like Todd Bridges and Gary Coleman. You know what I'm saying?
Cokehead.
Yeah, so, you know, and I mean, also now since we talking about Young Money, the passage of time is a lot different now. Like, things seem expedited now, which is why, like, it seemed like Drake been around for fucking ever. And he's only been around for, like, close to a decade, mixtape wise, album wise and shit, like 2009,
He
2010.
got some mileage. I think he got a little mileage.
But the passage of time, the more access people have to information, the faster things go. And like people are sweating Nicki at the moment about not replying.
She shouldn't reply.
I understand that, but
it's just you gonna lose.
If you a rapper, rap. That's what I say.
No,
niggas is
but
about
we ain't rapping no more.
Niggas is about to fuck shit.
Time frame where they don't rap like that no more.
Well, she need to.
I don't agree with that.
You know what? I can see both of y'all. I can see both sides of this, and I want to say, given her celebrity status, being so far above Remy is actually trying to get where Nicki is. Yeah. From that standpoint, what's an ant to a giant? I'm not calling Remy Ma an ant by no means. I've been a fan of Remy Ma since she was Remy Martin. But she's
financial. I'll say she an ant.
But at the same time, here's where I say that Nicki needs to respond. If Nicki does not respond, and I was listening, shout out to Troy Terrain, by the way. Was listening to some of the fuck shit from his show earlier. They brought up a very good point, and it was a good point shared by a lot of different people online, that the pedigree of where Nicki is from merits a response.
Queens, man.
She's from Queens.
Queens fights back.
Queens always fights back.
Even if they lose.
They fought.
I can kind of agree with that, but in her situation, I feel like
man, fuck her.
If you do fight back, first of all, we all know that she is not a real MC like that.
No, we don't.
Yeah,
it's been true. It's been proven to be that.
Her. Shout out to my nigga Safari. My nigga Safari.
Her first ghostwriter.
Her first ghostwriter. Shout
out to Safari in that
who was the real GOAT for exposing the truth about her. So with everything that we know now, that she's not writing most of her bars, she's not coming up with most of these comebacks. Why would it wouldn't make sense for her to go in the booth and attack somebody who does that?
See, at this point, I just wouldn't do it. At this point, it's the best time for her to do that because Remy looks mad weak after that second diss track. That second diss track was not good.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And,
let her hang herself.
And the leaking of the booty pic online is
that
just
was
further
weak too.
It is weak.
It's just further in the desperation that's been espoused by everybody online, saying because when Sheether dropped 5 days ago, close to a week, 5-6 days ago now, people was like, man, it came out of nowhere. It was a solid diss. It was vicious as a diss record is supposed to be.
It's the best diss record a woman has ever made.
Yeah. I mean, partly because she
ain't got much to go off.
She borrowed off
won a Grammy.
Yeah, she borrowed off of the energy of Ether. You know what I'm saying? It's thematically a remix to Ether
off a Queens rapper.
And see that's what makes it even more so. You know what I'm saying? You getting attacked by stones from your own home.
Literally attacked. Like that was a verbal attack. Like she brought up her brother. She brought up.
Oh,
it
was a lot of shade.
She brought up everything possible.
It was a lot of personal attacks.
And you can't say she's just an ant because she's relevant. Like they got people to talk. She blew the internet up. Like that's all people could talk about.
I mean, I think a sizable.
Before the diss, I felt like she was like just a local. Like she puts me in the mind of Jadakiss.
Kind of, sort of. And speaking of someone, I've been a fan of Remy since she went by the name Remy Martin.
Right.
The whole name Remy Martin. Back when she was rapping with Big L, Fat Joe, the rest of Lord Finesse, and the rest of the Digging in the Crates crew. Mm-hmm. The first song I ever heard Remy Ma spit on was Triborough. It was the last song on Big L's The Big Picture.
Was she like 16?
Yeah, and her verse was fucking amazing. I was like, who is this? But fan base wise, I think that right when she was on the come up wasn't she on Lean Back?
Yeah, that was her break. I felt that Lean Back was her breakthrough.
The jail sentence,
but she needed help from Fat Joe. Let's not.
She actually murdered that song. She had the best verse on that song.
The time that she had to spend in incarceration, it was almost a decade. Like
most
rappers' careers don't even last that long. And so, there was a lot of hype, there was a lot of hype and anticipation waiting for her when she got out. But in that time, Nicki was able to rise and to cultivate a rabid, diehard fan base. And fan base.
So
is
wait
important.
a minute. How long can you take before you have a reply?
Well, Nas waited September to December is about 3-4 months.
Yeah.
About 3 months. Mm-hmm. He waited about 3
months.
months.
But that was 16 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
we live in the social media age.
The 24-hour news cycle.
That time frame would kill you right now if you waited that long.
Yeah,
because it didn't do Meek no favors against Drake.
Right, I was just about to say that. When Meek
but they were both strategically timed. Nas specifically put out Ether on December the 4th because it was Jay-Z's birthday.
Right.
And Meek specifically, was specifically attacked because he was on tour and did not have access to the proper equipment or atmosphere that would have merited concentration and writing a diss record. I mean, one
Drake
of the most scathing lines.
Drake
was out.
He's a businessman. He took business moves. He put a Jay-Z move.
He did.
It's the shit matters. Timing matters. Timing is important. But when you're talking about fan bases and fan base versus reputation and skill versus notoriety, that's like one of the ultimate things. That's one of the ultimate subjects where who is truly the best.
I mean, that's subjective.
Because if you want to say Tupac is your number one,
Tupac has the fan base.
You can be like, okay, Tupac has the fan base. He has the overall. He encompasses hip hop. You think rap music, you probably don't think Tupac. But you look at him skill wise, and people be like, Tupac might not be. It's a lot of rappers that can actually.
I'm gonna go on record
rap
and say
better
Tupac's
than Tupac.
Terrible.
Wow. I can't say terrible.
He's terrible.
This is a Tupac fan, and right here against someone
Tupac's
that's saying he's terrible.
First and foremost, I do want to plug this. I want to give y'all because I feel I have to because I'm the only actual resident hardcore Tupac fan. I was there for the entirety of this nigga's rap career.
It sounded like 9/11. I was there.
It was 9/11. When I start describing the fuck shit that I saw from this era, I was there.
What'd you see?
I was there from when the nigga was a backup dancer on Digital Underground's Humpty Hump, and he hit his first verse on the same song EP.
Oh, so you was there when he was all flashy and
yes,
dancing?
I was there when Tupac was the prototype of Lupe.
And this is y'all number one. This is where.
Wait a minute, he just started.
Okay, go ahead.
To when he beat up the Hughes brothers and played Bishop and Juice and never stopped playing that role. If anything, he took the Black Panther shit and everything from Strictly for My Niggas and all that and incorporate. Now, it's not to say that Tupac is any kind of hoe or whatever, because I don't know no rappers that shot at police and fought Keith Murray when Keith Murray allegedly was heavy PCP cracked out,
allegedly
shooting the fair one at the House of Blues. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, Tupac's simplicity, where most people say it works against him in comparison to other MCs. To me, it actually was the shit that endeared him to simple niggas. Because simple niggas listen to Tupac and there's nothing to digest outside. There's nothing to digest but raw emotion. There's no bars to deconstruct. And bro, look, it's a lot of niggas. It's a lot.
That's why I'm like,
It's a lot of niggas.
Oh God,
it's a lot of niggas that swear by Nas being the greatest nigga of all time, that don't understand shit. It's a lot of niggas that swear Eminem is the greatest nigga of all time, don't want to rape their mom, don't want to pop no pills, and live like the Slim Shady character. But nigga, I was a 10-year-old child, and I saw niggas get nose rings, wearing Aunt Jemima do-rags, jean overalls with no shirts, belly tattoos, and Timbs. I've seen two human beings. I've seen two human beings beaten to the point where ambulances had to come get them for disrespecting him.
That's my problem right there.
It is a problem. I totally acknowledge it is a problem. But this is what I'm trying to convey to you.
It's the pop culture that
The pop culture.
that people
Pop
that people we'll call it pop culture.
Yeah.
Thug juice.
Thug juice. That whole thug life brand that he created. That I think people are attracted to. It's not like no offense
He
to like
did what Nicki Minaj and Drake
Right,
and
right.
all them niggas did.
Now I'm not saying he's like
But he lived
a
it to do
terrible person, but when I think of like rapper, I can't even put that dude in the same context because people can't get over the pop influence that he had on the culture.
But see, this is the thing. Pac was a natural hit maker. He was a natural hit maker to the point where he was so good at making fucking music. He was able to groom Biggie into changing from the dead wrong horrorcore style to a more polished and accomplished songwriter.
I attributed that more to Puffy.
I would say
I can't because Biggie was with Puffy for 2 years and he didn't try to groom him to do that.
But he suggested it.
no Puffy had the best production,
But he couldn't. Puffy's not a rapper, so there was no way for him to convey the importance of it.
All he did is throw a beat to him. But like Biggie, people act like Biggie wasn't a genius at rap.
He was a genius,
like,
but
if he throws something in front of you and
geniuses-
tell you to rap, you gonna rap according to what this song is telling how you feel. about the
Mozart
song.
didn't pen symphonies because he wanted to. He penned them because his father put the paper in his hand and the piano in front of his little ass.
It's a
But
it was a
culmination.
culmination.
Of things.
He
Yeah,
had
you
the
can't
vision.
just give it to Tupac. Like
I don't
Tupac did all
just
this.
give it to Tupac. I'm trying to express that it was Tupac's credibility as a rapper that made Biggie probably take notes like, well, maybe I should listen to
He
him.
took notes off of
No,
everybody.
he took
took
notes
off of Big Daddy
he's a
Kane,
very
first
good
of all,
strategist. I'll put
because
it like
how
this:
he rap.
Biggie was a great strategist to know to what exactly to talk about, what to talk about, structure, different angles to go about it, and I think he was a mastermind of touching on different topics that was real.
That's true. But who was putting them on stage?
Well, that's an argument.
Somebody got to
Puffy
put
is
somebody
talent.
on stage.
Puffy-
Everybody
had the best talent and eye for putting someone
why
on
was
stage.
a non-New York styled West Coast enthusiast nigga traveling across the entire continental United States
They was hot.
to put
It's
this
not.
nigga on
Wait a
stage?
minute, hold up. Let's not forget that Dre was the main reason that kept Pac relevant.
No.
That production.
I can't say that because
Pac
Me
was already
Against,
relevant,
Me Against the
but-
World was a New York produced album.
It was
And that's technically speaking,
that
It was,
California.
wait a minute. It was critically acclaimed, but it didn't do.
It didn't
what-
do as
It
much.
didn't
It
do
wasn't as
what All Eyes
successful
on
than
Me
Dre.
did and everything after that.
he outsold Bruce Springsteen in jail. What are y'all talking about? He outsold Bruce Springsteen.
So wait.
Lock the fuck up.
So-
like y'all.
So you saying? So you arguing before Dre?
Yes.
He was
He
his
was going like
production.
platinum,
above-
2 times platinum.
above the
His
rim-
production wasn't.
First
But
of
it
all-
wasn't on Dre's level.
First of all,
once he got with Dre, he went.
First of all,
broke
Dre,
his own
Dre didn't
records.
even produce that many songs.
the
Tupac
above the
didn't
rim soundtrack upon which Tupac was very prominent on, specifically for the song "Pour Out Some Liquor." Above the rim soundtrack is probably the GOAT rap soundtrack, probably comparable only to Belly, and for my southern niggas, I got the hookup soundtrack. Whatever the fuck. I can't just leave y'all niggas
Okay.
out.
Did he go to the Grammys without Dre?
No.
He don't even have a.
He don't have a Grammy.
That's what I'm saying. He
even
don't
have
have one. Exactly. He don't even have one, but he got close with Dre. I feel he got close with Dre.
I think Death Row
I mean,
turned Tupac into what the Tupac we all know.
well,
And
the Tupac most people's familiar with. I'm still familiar with pre-Death Row hype
he was,
Dre.
for me, pre-Death Row, he was more famous for being an actor than a rapper. Like, his movies were more prominent than his rapping ability.
Yeah.
People be like, he can make some good songs. I Get Around, Brenda's Got a Baby, stuff like that. But
the noticeable difference, and I agree to that, the noticeable difference is the machine was behind him when he went to the West Coast.
they pushed him into a direction. He didn't have that before.
Yeah, but I think he was that gives a great parallel to why you need a Puffy, a Suge Knight to come by.
We don't have those anymore.
I mean,
don't have those no more.
I mean, because of the then and now,
Yeah.
you don't really need them. No one like the A&R still exists, but it's cheap.
I think we do
It's
need 'em.
cheaper. It's cheaper for the. They're not even called record
get a
labels
finished
anymore.
product already.
They're called entertainment companies. The entertainment companies want you to prove via social media and all the other outlets that you can create a fan base and generate your brand.
I
by yourself.
When
missed
they try
that.
to- when
I
they try
missed
to
that
sign you-
element of everybody had a captain.
I do
a
too.
Dame Dash. I
do
missed
too.
it. It was just exciting to see like your generals fighting.
I do too, but at this point, to be honest with you, music is fuck shit as it seems. It's a lot more independent and organic because there's no one coaching you into being what you are. Because what happens when people
But that's why we have a dilute
That's the problem.
market.
That's
Well,
the
it's
problem.
too much music.
It's too much music, and then there's too much.
Wait a minute.
Well, not too much
Too
music.
much
Too much.
music.
There's too much music.
Too much
for
of the same music.
There's too much
Clean that up.
music for the average person to
Look,
sift through.
15,
Most niggas
15
need.
years ago, people was arguing that it wasn't enough music. Like, niggas ain't dropping albums no more.
Well, I ain't saying that it's too much music as a bad thing.
Everybody's just dropping
I think
shit
what are we trying to say? The market is flooded with the same.
It's not enough polished products put out.
Right.
That and now because there's so much to sift through and the monolith of music to sift through is so daunting, people seem to be more slavish to specific artists and brands now than there ever were. Than when there were fewer artists and brands, because now it's so many people
We got a
to
bunch of
follow.
stands.
I don't know which dick to ride. Somebody give me some dick riding directions, which is why thank you TMZ, thank you MTO and Bossip and all the other sites that's feeding into the fuck shit.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all for helping to
keep up with the
generate the 24-hour news cycle. At a certain point in time, TV used to go the fuck off. You can only dream or argue with niggas, and you can only argue with niggas locally. You can sit up in your drawers at 3:00 in the morning and write a whole motherfucking thesis on YouTube with all manner of links and everything.
Yeah, I just missed that era where like you had that camaraderie and there were different factions that people like subscribe to. Like I think is great when you're like, oh, I grew up with Pac and you have this attachment now.
That's the problem with
we don't have that now.
The problem with that is every faction had one businessman that just only did business. Nigga didn't rap. He didn't do any of that. He just handled business.
Shout out to Baby's brother.
Oh, Slim.
Shout out to Slim.
Yeah, Slim.
Shout out to Kareem. Biggs.
Irv Gotti.
Shout out to Irv.
What happened to Irv?
But nowadays we have a bunch of
G-Unit and the whole Fed cases. Fed cases.
Yeah, there was a lot of Fed.
But nowadays we have people out on their own. They have to do stuff, even if they are on the label. So the problem when we get nowadays, we get a bunch of big shines where their first album and a couple albums after that are all pretty much demo.
I'll give Big Sean this though. Of all the,
he's gotten better.
He's gotten better, and of all the niggas from his class, he the only one in my opinion, he the only one with heart, because everybody else seems to be afraid to call out Kendrick's name either on record or in interview. And Sean is staunchly defending himself like, hey, I rap, nigga. I ain't just, y'all can say I got 8, but I rap. Most other niggas is when so Kendrick beat the fuck out of you and pissed on your grave on your own verse. What do you got to say about that? Oh, well, Kendrick's an amazing artist, and it's just so incredible.
Oh,
Sean,
we have no beef, it's just rap.
Right. Sean is standing the fuck up and defending him. So he's standing on his square. I can't do nothing but respect that, especially considering that years ago, I was a staunch Big Sean hater.
I was too. I still almost kind of am,
but the respect, like he making me respect.
No, man, I'm on the fence about it because I feel like
shout out to Sean down.
Shout out to Sean, but
Asian,
I feel like Sean
Croatian bitches.
He's
like, I don't know. He just kind of
world touring and whoring with the foreigners.
But I don't know, man. Like I be feeling like because I listened to the last album and it sounded good. It's just, but it's always this. Like back of my mind, he just talking like from I'm an underdog type stance, and not just taking the full advantage and saying fuck that underdog.
I think
he make a bunch of PG-13.
I think it's the result of being
go in.
I think
that's what I want. Just go in.
I think it's the result.
Don't fuck all this.
I can explain. Let me attempt to explain the pathology. Let me attempt to explain.
He's a 26 like he ain't a grown ass man.
Nowadays, what is 26? Nah.
26 is a motherfucking child now. I ain't
Yeah,
even gonna
that's
lie.
what I'm saying. Like,
man,
what
you a grown
age you
ass.
can't? They be like, don't do that, don't do that. You gotta keep your fan base. You can't do that.
Yeah,
Nah.
niggas
Let
ain't-
Eminem do that.
Niggas ain't fighting wars and building houses at 26 now. Niggas is looking for safe places and
Fuck
drinking.
that, but he made his
mocha
money. I say
lattes.
fuck that. You done made your money. You got a cushion.
I think that
Talk
this
some
is
shit.
I think that this
You
is
from
the
Detroit?
result.
Talk some shit.
This is the result of being.
Fuck that.
This is the
Trick
result.
would not approve this shit.
Where's Trick Trick?
Comment with
Shout out to Trick Trick.
Shout out to Trick.
Shout out to Uncle
the goon
Trick.
affiliate no fly zone. He makes sure that Rick Ross don't play in this venue.
But see, this is what I'm trying to say.
Let's go there.
This is what I'm trying
Allegedly.
to. This is what I'm allegedly. This is. This is what I'm trying to say. Sean's a third generation product of narcissism.
Okay.
It's hard to sound full of yourself when the nigga that precedes you, when your handler, your seafood, and your master is the most arrogant nigga of all time. Who Kanye, who was preceded
but
by
that's what I'm
the most
saying.
arrogant nigga of all time,
Who in
Jay-Z.
history they all had moments where they went against motherfuckers. And they didn't give a fuck about the money cash.
I mean, but that's what I'm giving Sean credit for about going. Like, to
be
me,
like your sensei.
to me, this is, well, Kanye ain't really had no beef with nobody. Kanye,
I mean,
Kanye
you
had
say that
beef.
50 Cent.
Kanye, well, he
It
crushed
wasn't
it.
beef, but
Yeah, he beat the fuck out of
yeah,
50.
he killed 50.
I mean, but the only person that Kanye had beef with is Ray J, and I mean, that's you
Yeah,
can ignore
Cudi.
that.
that ain't.
That's
beef.
all.
I don't count that.
I don't count that.
That's
shit.
like your little brother trying to fight you. You know, that ain't really shit.
That's
Kid Cudi just killed the podcast.
Yeah.
Brought the
Well,
nigga
that's
out.
enough on the Hattage Underground. That's enough on the Hattage Underground.
we appreciate y'all for listening.
Appreciate you
It's a
listening.
sad turn. Oh,
Shout out
But
to-
yeah, like
fuck
so,
you, Cudi.
like I mean, but it brings up a good point. We are in the Marshmallow Hollow Point age, where you know we're in that age
I feel like he
of
should just do
goose
it.
down pillow grenades and everything is soft. So Big Sean standing his ground against radio hosts trying to hold him for getting washed is the hardest thing out right now.
Yeah, but you don't have to defend this shit. Let the music talk. If you confident in your bar structure and your shit, I feel like you should be able to have a freedom of saying what you want
You
to say.
can say that until your opponent is backed by the machine.
I think Big Sean is more confident in saying it to people's faces than putting it in his music.
Yeah, Sean ain't tweeting about Kendrick. He's talking
I
about
would
the
like
shit
to
when
see
they
that
ask
a
him
Kendrick
about it.
versus
Yeah.
Big Sean.
I mean, you gotta just listen to the tracks that they do.
I would
against
see
each
that.
other.
I would like because I feel like Big Sean.
I think.
I want to see it just because I respect anybody that's willing to fight.
to take down
Yeah, I
the
think-
nigga on top of the mountain.
I mean, even if you die, you can say that you died
That you did
valiantly.
I mean, out of the catalog of people that he destroyed, I think he would probably be like the closest I would feel confident him going bar for bar with him.
But Drake.
Drake could, but Drake already done killed fucking.
Yeah, Drake got it, Kendrick.
So that,
The-
that,
Drake
that'll,
got it,
that'll
kid.
make that'll
the,
be
the,
better.
the language pretty much silenced all
Drake
that.
sneak dissed him, but he killed him.
He sneak dissed him on a single.
Yeah, I heard that. That was, shout out to.
I mean, but guess who was the last nigga to sneak diss a nigga on a? I mean, I'm sorry, not sneak diss a nigga on a single, diss a nigga on a single. Only your boy Tupac Shakur could take an R&B record featuring KC, JoJo, and Tommy Boy and use the entire third verse just to ride out on Dr. Dre. The whole song was about getting boxed and spraying bitches with Alizé and all that, and then he took 12 bars.
Now, if you want to talk
question
about
the
the
nigga's
king of
sexuality.
sneak dissing,
Jay-Z.
hold up. Biggie was the king of sneak dissing.
Shout out to Kick in the Door. Shout out to
Kick in the Door,
Ghostface, Ray, and
Warren.
Nas.
You got
I mean,
to put Jay-Z versus Biggie because they both just
They
say
the
a bunch
kings
of slick
of
shit.
hit, but
They
that
the
was his
same
sen- that was
motherfucker.
his
They Brook-
sensei.
That's that Brooklyn ass whole ass
Biggie
nigga
was
shit.
Jay-Z's sensei. So I feel like Biggie.
Be safe.
Shout out to the Brooklyn Stick Up Boys.
Shout out to all of the rough patches in Brooklyn.
Jesus Christ.
Shout out to niggas combing their hair with plastic forks. Out of BC ass niggas.
It's probably a dude listening to this on the subway ready to beat your ass.
Ready to beat your ass.
On
nigga.
standby.
I don't know what funny name
Carl
fucking
Cuddy does not
train.
approve that.
I don't know what funny name train a Brooklyn nigga would take.
Cuddy
But
does not. Look, I want to still be able to go through Brooklyn, and go through the
I mean,
bodegas.
shit, given the gentrification.
I want to get a slice of pizza for $1 and not get harassed.
I feel that, but I mean, you know,
Sneak this in, baby.
Sneak
But I
dissing.
think Biggie was the king of that shit. I mean, he made a whole album sneak dissing Pac.
Pac,
Whole second
Pac,
half of
Pac
album.
Whole
goes,
second half
Pac
of the album.
go Ray, Pac, Ghostface, Ray, and Nas. It was a couple people that was getting shots on there.
And they was getting a lot of shots.
Shout out to the Mad Rapper for being the most legendarily bitter nigga ever. Even though you wasn't even a real rapper, bro. We
He made an album.
He did make an album.
He made an
He did
album.
make an album.
in character, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, in character, yeah, but he made an album.
Didn't nobody even know who that nigga was for like 10 years.
I actually miss niggas being in character, but then again, I can't say that I missed them. Two of my top 10s is Doom and Slick Rick, and you know they help preserve that character rap because the first two songs, my favorite two Biggie songs are "Give Me the Loot" and "The Warning." Because those are the first two Biggie songs that I memorized.
Yeah.
And it was the flow and the delivery. And they sound like three different niggas rapping.
Right.
Three different, it's all the same dude.
Yeah.
But you know, I
He
mean,
was good at that.
That just goes into, you know, the sneak dissing and the rise, the fall, the rise, the peak, and the fall of these rappers.
I feel like Biggie is just the best because I felt like, because when people mention Pac, they gotta always mention the cosmetic stuff.
Because you can't separate it.
I don't never hear people just getting excited about Pac's lyrics. It's like, oh, he did this and he shut down fucking this and then he shot at this. You know what I mean? It's always theatrical shit that draws people to say that his album is great or
you have to respect Tupac. It's like I used to be a Tupac hater for a long time, and I just couldn't understand.
I'm not a Tupac hater. I just feel like he's not in my top 5. He's just not.
Which is understandable.
My personal top 5. He's not in it.
This is the point in the show where I have to stress this. For everybody out there listening, I want to tell you niggas this. If I'm talking to you and you give me your top 10 and your top 10 don't have at least 2 questionables, and by questionables, I mean niggas who the main general audience of people listening would just go, I don't know about that one, player. If you don't have at least 2 questionables in your list, you a dick rider, you a stan, you a fucking hype beast, and you too fucking afraid to admit that you actually like some niggas that mostly everybody else wouldn't like. I'ma tell a nigga up front and off motherfucking GP, Project motherfucking Pat is straight in my top 10, nigga. Specifically for Mr. Don't Play Giddy Green and Land of Smackdown. I can't tell y'all niggas what them albums was doing to my ratchet ass 15-year-old mind, and that shit stuck with me. I'd be a fucking liar to denounce that nigga and say, well, you know, I'm embarrassed to say Project Pat. No, fuck all that.
You still going ham off that hungry.
You hungry, right?
Yeah,
He didn't like it.
I am, because this is great. And I mean,
I like Project Pat.
out there, because I'm a realist. And by realist, I mean I acknowledge all possibilities. Somewhere out there, whether motherfuckers want to acknowledge this or not, and I mean no disrespect to the homie, because I've been a fan of his for the longest, somewhere out there, there is a fucking 11-year-old kid that's growing up in a fucked up household, and the only time and peace and serenity that he has is probably riding with his gangbanging ass brother, uncle, cousin, or sister's boyfriend, and this little 11-year-old kid has a motherfucking a big pen in his hand and a motherfucking notebook, and he going to town listening to Schoolboy Q. Right now, you cannot tell this little nigga that Schoolboy Q is not the greatest nigga on motherfucking earth, nigga. He's listening to this nigga not Schoolboy Q. Excellent.
Yeah, I like Schoolboy.
And that's what I mean. Like, people cheat people of how they truly feel by trying to hold people to this standard. Oh, well, your top 5 and your top 10 ain't credible because it's not mine.
Right.
We all got different experiences.
Everybody got different tastes about what they like and shit like that.
All you niggas out there rocking to the Migos and dick riding, the Migos wasn't listening to motherfucking Rakim and Cool G rap. They was listening to motherfucking Gucci.
Right. Well, I think that's gonna be. That's a great way to end it because I feel like we could go on about Project Pat and fucking.
Well, I had already left that.
Yeah, I got exposed to Southern music real early, so it's like I can understand Project Pat. People loving Project Pat and 8 Ball, MJG, and all 3-6 Mafia and all that type of stuff. Like that's
Face
cool.
and Juvenile.
I mean,
Juvenile ain't in my top 10. I love Juvie though.
Scarface need to be in people's top 10.
Juvie 400 Degrees is most certainly a top 10 album of mine.
Man,
I don't give a fuck what a nigga's talking about.
That was my first experience of ratchetness.
Nigga.
Yeah.
And it was legendary.
That was my first trap, trap experience.
I remember where I was when was my last day of school, June the motherfucking 14th, 1998, and I had a $20 bill in my hand, and I went to, and it was a record store where that bread basket on Grand River and Greenfield used to be, and I purchased from the Chaldean nigga in there. Nigga, that shit changed my life. That shit changed my life.
Remember the record store that used to be off over there on Woodward, right where right where that CVS and that it's like Rock and Roll Cafe.
Yes,
that little store. It used to be a record store. I forgot the name of that store, but I used to go in there and buy all my fucking albums out of there. And I remember I bought that fucking DMX album. I remember that was like
Flesh of My Flesh.
Flesh of My Flesh.
It had to be Flesh of My Flesh.
I stole my first couple albums. I stole Ready to Die. I went in the fucking Sam Goody.
I stopped buying Ready to Die because I bought that album. I bought that album 4 times and I've lost it or got it stolen.
I stole
from me
a
every
Twista
time.
album.
So I'm done buying the rap. I'm done buying. I'm afraid to put Ready to Die on my phone because if I put it on my phone, someone's gonna steal my fucking phone.
I stole Ready to
So
Die.
I just listen to it on YouTube because as much as I love the album, Tragedy always befalls my record player or my CD player. But you know, when we talking about the rise and fall of people, I mean, the top 5 that we brought up earlier is very important to discuss their rise, their peak, and their fall. Some artists, you know what I'm saying, Tupac and Biggie literally had a rise, peak, and fall, and their peaks and their falls happened around the same time.
Their fall was their death.
Their fall was their death, and a part of their complete and permanent entrenchment into the culture was the sustaining of a death cult surrounding them. And by death cult, I mean the death cult that surrounds Tupac and Biggie, not to sound crass and not to, you know, besmirch their names and their legacy or that of their family members, but it pretty much the only way to get with them now is to die. And you got Rakim, Cool G Rap, Slick Rick, Big Daddy Kane, Kool Moe Dee. You got all the Golden Age dudes that are alive and well whose status will never be cemented because they don't love you like they do when they about to put you in the ground.
That's because they died doing what they do. Mm-hmm. Like it created some kind of martyrdom.
Yes.
You know, to just look
and
up
then
to
the whole
like
the whole mystery surrounding their deaths. And then you got, you know, cats like Jay-Z and Nas where there was the rise, the peak, and then the fall. In Jay-Z's case, because the way that Jay plays politics and markets himself, every time Jay-Z comes out, there's rise, peak, fall, rise, peak, fall, rise, peak, fall. With Nas, there was a point where people were dissatisfied with the music he was making, so he peaked. Well, I can't even say rise because Nas started on top, given the hype around him, who his mentor was, and just the pedigree of rap that he saved New York from having to be vassals to the West.
He put the New York on his back.
Them New York niggas was like, we can rap about drugs and hoes and killing niggas too. Look at Nas. But
you can't say that. I can't say that.
No, I didn't say that he saved New York. I said that New York made him a savior. It's a completely different thing. Okay. It's a completely different thing.
I mean, yeah, they might have gassed him up, but I could never say that Nas was a superhero.
I mean, Illmatic did stop rap music for a period of time. They were just like, all right.
And it seemed to be, it broke the mold and became the new model of how you go about putting out a streetwise album.
A bunch of producers instead of just one DJ that's on your album cover.
Even though not everybody can afford all-star production on their first motherfucking album.
You know what's funny about that? He changed the business model.
Yeah.
But after that, he been a terrible beat selector.
Even with
he just been
Salon
terrible
Remy.
after that though.
But see, this
go there.
is what I was saying about the rise, the peak, and the fall, because Nas's career was
garbage.
resurrected by
It started
the beef
going
with
down
the
the
beef
drain.
with Jay. But of course,
You overkilled.
because I mean I
overkilled.
share his opinion, but for different reasons. But
you can't say.
and then
his
you
whole career was
but then you have
not saying
but
his
then you
whole
have the
career,
other
I'm just
person.
saying-
But then you have the other person from the top five that we talking about, where some people feel that Eminem died a spiritual death. So he peaked, and then he fell, and the spiritual death being the disconnect post encore.
Well, let's go here. He started to try to be sober and started talking about productive shit, and I felt that was his downfall.
He was making
that recovery album was a piece of garbage.
He was making music for Marine commercials.
Yeah, he went trying to get reformed cokeheads
support the troops. I mean that and the vicious turn that the beef with Murder Inc. took.
Oh God! Wait a minute. I'm sorry. You can't say that.
Shout out to the troops.
Cut his mic.
We ain't got no mics to cut.
I got no mic. Cut his airtime. But I feel like I don't know. Like
shout out to them niggas in them tanks listening to Eminem, the fourth album,
getting it in, riding hard. Wait, wasn't the fourth album encore?
That was the third album.
That was the third album.
No, it was fourth album. Eminem show was the third.
Oh, I forgot that even happened.
Damn.
The E show. I used to get a whole album.
It was the Eminem show.
Hattage, dog. That was straight Hattage, dog.
It was the Eminem.
Forgot that album, dude.
Forgot the whole.
But you know what it was? It was the peak, though. It was the peak of Eminem because it was the Eminem show in 8 Mile.
Yep.
And at that point, it was the juice. It was the juice of him being on the fucking Chronic 2001 tour.
I like my Eminem coked up on antidepressants, and I like him drugged out.
I mean, my favorite Eminem song to this day. I acknowledge that there are better songs, but the song that I feel the most from that nigga, because you know my need to feel where the fuck you coming from is a part of where I venerate you and rock bottom.
Oh, okay. I was about to say my favorite Eminem song is "The Way I Am."
I mean that's a great one.
"The Way I Am," then Stan number 2. I think Stan is one of the greatest rap songs ever made.
One of the greatest stories.
Yeah.
Greatest stories.
It created a word.
Yeah,
it did.
Any song that creates a word, I'm like, okay. Like either you can say whatever you want about the lies or whatever.
But
all lies.
The term is added to the lexicon.
Yeah,
all lies.
I mean, what?
Just like you can say that. You can say that with Becky.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You can say that with Becky.
With fucking what's his name? The nigga Sweet Pussy Saturday.
Sweet Pussy
Saturday.
Shout out to the sweet pussy.
Plies with Becky.
Pussy.
Sweet Pussy Saturday. I like Plies because he an old ass nigga that.
We are not talking about.
We gonna talk about it because I think he's hilarious. I think he's hilarious. We didn't even talk about his albums. His albums is very garbage. I actually don't like none of his music. But I think he's a funny ass individual,
and I mean, that's fair. That's why I was listening to Pat. I was listening to Pat and Juvenile because I thought that shit was hilarious.
He works for this era, this like social media era. Where you can
he's the king of it.
I mean, he the only nigga that can get body slammed on some SummerSlam shit on stage and
still win.
And I mean, the rise and the fall of all these guys, all these things play into.
I didn't know he was 40 until like recently.
Rise and falls also coincide with the dishes and the beefs. I mean, they're indistinguishable. Biggie and Pac's rise and fall was determined by their beef. The resurrection of Nas's career came from his beef. Jay-Z's constant beef and penchant for sneak dissing waxes and wanes with his rise and falls.
Right, before you even talk about anyone, we gotta point out the fact that Jay-Z a whole ass nigga. The fact
what did Jay-Z do to you?
No, I'm just.
What did Jay-Z do to you?
How much time you got?
Oh shit, we ain't got.
It's villain making it sound like Jay-Z is.
No, I mean, look, Jay-Z. look, he took over for everybody when they died. He the only one left. He was the only nigga left.
He did hold it
He
down.
was the last Sith. I mean, he was the last Jedi. I mean, what you want from him?
He held it down, dog. And I mean, the certain lines, when a line incenses someone, you know it hurt because it was true. A nigga can tell you that the grass is red and the sky is green, and you won't pay it no mind, be like, hey, but your baby mama was caught getting a train ran on her. And the nigga might swing on you. Why? Because the other two things that you said to him was ridiculous. This one is equally ridiculous, but it's also true and it hurts.
Oh,
It's like New York's been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the builders. I'm trying to restore the feeling. Fuck the law, keep peeling. Shout out to Money Cash Hoes. And he was right.
Yeah.
He was right. New York niggas got in their feelings about that, despite the fact that New York niggas shot at Snoop Corrupt in the dog pound when they was out there on a mission of peace trying to film a video.
Yeah, that song was gonna be a completely different song.
Shout out to motherfucking New York, and Daz's motherfucking production. That shit was legendary.
Daz production, corrupt lyrics. Them niggas couldn't get together. But anyway, Jay-Z. This is why I say Jay-Z hoe ass nigga. Jay-Z has done a lot of questionable things to get where he is. I mean, it's like it's inevitable that he was gonna have to do that. But it's just the fact that he's left a bunch of people behind. He just like trimmed the fat. Niggas that he was supposed to be loyal to, he got rid of those niggas. He threw Dame Dash under the bus.
Did he though? Or did Dame?
I'm
about to say Dame kind of hung himself. Dame kind of hung himself, I feel like.
It was just a bunch of business moves that Jay-Z was like, I don't need these niggas. Like, it came to a point where
I would like to hear if somebody could post their thoughts. Why would Jay remain loyal to Bleak and not to Jazz?
I think Bleak saved his life at some point.
Bleak might have an award for the most loyal nigga in all of hip hop.
I think Bleak was his shooter. He had to respect him.
Yeah, Bleak did something.
Bleak was his man's. When they were setting up shop.
Charge for him.
Yeah, when they were setting up shop, Bleak was probably the one that was taking most of the hits.
He wrote Bleak first album.
Bleak was making sure that he was able to have a platform for music, I feel like Bleak was detrimental through that whole process.
I mean, Bleak was also a kid when Jay picked him up. I mean, he was also a 15 and 16-year-old kid.
That's the best shooter.
Yeah. Understudy. He groomed that.
You know what I mean? Yeah, those are the best kinds that they don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? They young. They can go do work. They ready to prove themselves. It's perfect.
I just want at this point.
If I had a shooter, I would get like a young Bleak.
I'd like to see Jazz and Jay reconcile before before it's all said and done for either of them. Damn it, dog.
What? You know Jazz gonna die.
Damn, dog. You're just a cold-blooded motherfucker.
That's why he the villain.
Hattage.
That's why he the villain. But I mean, pride is one thing, but I mean, bro, like, you are the Obi-Wan Kenobi to the most successful MC of all time. I mean, the fact that Jay has not changed his name to Sean Carter and anything else exists in permanent homage to you.
That's true.
That's true.
I mean, and every time he's asked about it on a platform like David Letterman and motherfucking Jimmy Kimmel, and none of these other niggas know who the fuck Jazzo in Kings County is, but every time he's asked about it on a big platform, he tells people the honest to God motherfucking truth about the person that motherfucking sunned him in the rap.
Why he, has he ever explained why he hasn't changed his name? Why he kept that name?
No, he just said, when they asked him about the name Jay-Z, I've heard him say at length that it used to be Jazzy because the guy that bought me in the rap was Jazz, and I just shortened it from Jazzy to Jay-Z.
I mean, I think that kind of like respect that he got for him, I think that's big of him, right? Because he don't have to.
You don't have to.
You don't have to talk about it.
That's like some mob shit.
Yeah, it's one of those like unwritten codes.
And I mean, even if Jay was, as snake oil as he appears and as the villain touts him to be, I mean, it's also a cover your ass move. If you ever sneak this, you don't chop your feet up under yourself if you
No.
Because to say Who is Jaz-O? I don't know. And then, because there's plenty of Jay-Z haters out there. I tell you who Jaz-O is, nigga. That's the nigga that can put that chain on you, put your
But I
on.
think Jay just respects him overall, so he would never disrespect in that context.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, he finally, like, well, you know, he showed me so much love, and then the fact that I have this voice to be able to talk every day in radio.
Shit,
and all that.
after he supposedly shot his own brother, the first place he ran to was Jazz House, something that he told us.
Yeah, that was his man's. But I think like what the villain was saying is we don't know what Memphis Bleak did to get that rank.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. It's a mystery. And within that's scary.
Shout out to Bleak. Shout out to the mystique of Bleak.
Shout out to the sidekicks.
So I guess
Tony Ayo.
Yes, shout out to the sidekick.
Shout out to
I mean,
the
but you notice
sidekick,
the sidekick niggas is the most. You need a Nightwing.
You ain't gonna never find a nigga. Like, you rarely come across a nigga like that.
No.
It's just be like, I'm straight with being this.
Because, I mean, most niggas fall out with their second hands.
Yeah.
I mean, or the shit strange. I can't really call AZ Nas' sidekick. If anything, that was his partner. They stood next to each other. There wasn't one behind the other.
But, you know, but they was going about fighting about money and power and all that shit. They couldn't see really. There'll never be like a sidekick moment with them. They always fighting against each other.
Cormega was Nas's man. And, you know, a lot of people give Jay Petty ass a lot of heat for about how he deals with niggas. But Nas, when Nas has the ability to, Nas deals with niggas in the same fashion that Jay-Z deals with niggas.
Nobody ever makes Nas take accountability for anything that he does. He can just be a scumbag. And
it's actually one of the most disheartening things to me because Nas is my least favorite MC, not just to this overrated list, but he's not my least favorite MC because I don't dislike Nas. He's my least favorite MC to discuss because to me, if I can't critique or offer constructive criticism, it's not worth talking about.
Right.
And the accountability, but then again, it's that pride that everybody. There's a lot of niggas that, you know what I'm saying, is riding on the back of the mystique around Illmatic. Illmatic is a gateway album because now you can talk to Todd from the suburbs or Jeremy from the suburbs and go, yeah, well, you know, Illmatic is just such a tour de force and such a great album. It's a masterpiece sonically, constructively. It's very, you know, and Nas was clearly an auteur and feeling himself. And then you ask, like, well, who else you listen to? Oh, I listen to the Migos and listen to Gucci and I listen to
that don't match up.
It don't match up. So I'm just looking like, so where do these two coincide? Oh, I got the vinyl at home. And do you have vinyl? And at that point, it's just like, nigga, I don't need motherfucking to spend $40 on a motherfucking album I can stream.
I lived through this shit.
You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the motherfucking projects, but at this point, it's been placed up on a pedestal so high that it's a gateway album.
Right.
Now, all a nigga got to do is hold up a motherfucking Illmatic vinyl, and nobody will question him. To question him is to question the vinyl, and to question the vinyl is to question the artist.
You should be able to do that.
I feel you should too, but
just like with Tupac, like you can't it's hard.
Shout out to Chris Kidd for Message to Machiavelli. As a Tupac fan, reformed Tupac stan, that message to have you heard Message to Machiavelli?
I have heard Message to Machiavelli.
I actually haven't listened to it.
No, we're gonna listen to it after the pod. We're gonna listen to it after the cast. And Carl Cutter, that's gonna be the first thing Carl Cutter talk about on the next podcast is his reaction to Message to Machiavelli. Low key, I'm only preempting this now because when that motherfucker All Eyes on Me movie come out, it's gonna be a lot of niggas that inadvertently click that link, and Chris Kidd's about to receive a lot of heat.
I can't wait to see the movie because I feel like they're gonna shine a light on all the whole activity that Tupac was engaged with. Like, I feel like they're gonna pull the Band-Aid on all the shit. I feel like they're gonna do it.
Just like they didn't do that with
Biggie.
NWA or with
Biggie.
No,
you gotta remember, these movies are the mass propaganda introductions of Tupac to a whole new crop of fans. They gonna make that nigga seem like a god.
I don't know,
bro. If Dre can seem like the hardest body nigga ever,
they made Eazy-E seem like a bitch, but
that's because he did.
And that's because Eazy had no part in the movie.
But they did shed some light on his position throughout throughout the whole
They
course of it.
They made Eazy-E look like he didn't know how to rap. They made Eazy-E look like
They made
he was just a
Eazy-E-
drug dealer.
They
he was a
made
drug
Eazy-E seem. They made Eazy-E seem like
But
he
they
was
peeled
trying to,
it.
he was trying to cop a brick of dirt weed and trying to flip that shit. Fuck the fact that he had literally just found and signed the 3 biggest acts in contemporary
90s,
black
the
music.
whole decade.
He found, in my opinion, the GOAT motherfucking hip hop group. I don't want to hear shit from you Wu-Tang niggas. I don't want to hear shit from nobody. It's my motherfucking opinion. Bone Thugs and Harmony is the greatest motherfucking rap group of all time, nigga.
And I can't really argue with that. I love Bone. So.
I'm
like
sorry,
Bone.
niggas.
It's just great weed music.
It's just great everything music.
Great
nigga.
weed music.
And Bone also shatters all
Which I probably
all
need to
you
go get
old
something.
stuck in the 90s niggas talking about mumble rap. Nigga, we wasn't listening to motherfucking Bone
All
Thugs and
that
Harmony
mumble.
as kids because they was the most profound motherfucking lyricists.
No.
We didn't know what the fuck they was
was
saying
hard,
half the
it
time.
did.
That
Sounded
shit was
good.
just hard.
Yeah, that's why I can't really say that. This
Shout
whole
out to
mumble rap
DJ
stuff is
Unique.
garbage all the way.
Oh.
It's because we were listening to some way crazier shit. Hell, I even put that whole Soldier Boy and
D4L.
D4L niggas
The
All that
franchise
snap
boy.
snapping, and we was looking crazy.
Hold this L, Atlanta.
I
We
felt
was looking crazy.
we was looking crazy.
We was looking
like
crazy.
we was looking crazy, dog. We had big ass white tees, baggy ass pants.
Yup.
That's why I'm like, I can't really get mad at these young little pups out now. They wearing their little skinny jeans and they fucking dreadheads.
I ain't gonna wear what you niggas was wearing,
You know,
but my nigga, the legendary
yellow hair.
the legendary
Right, yellow hair.
the legendary
Odell
Sean
Beckham
Price,
looking motherfuckers.
the legendary Sean Price. May he
Fuck
rest
Odell
in, may
Beckham.
he rest in G.
I hate that nigga.
I feel you.
I'm sorry.
That's fair.
He just fucking annoys me, dog. He gets away with all this homoerotic fucking.
Hey, Sean
Mic
Price.
off.
Sean Price said it best. You can do what you want to do,
That's
just
too
don't
far.
do it in front of me.
Sorry to my homosexual fans, but it's just I cannot.
We gonna try to edit that.
I'm sorry. You can cut that part out. Really.
I ain't
God damn
trying
it.
to lose no YouTube sponsorship and no bread because you know what I'm saying.
Let's go. Because Marv got his own
I
way
think
of thinking. Over
This
it.
is the YouTube podcast. This is the
Oh,
other
this the
ones. We
YouTube?
gonna be reckless as fuck.
All right.
All right, so
But-
I guess we can wrap up after that one.
We can wrap up, or do y'all want to do the in-depth analysis of
We
like?
did the end
We
of
did
it. We
that
did all
in-depth.
five
We did
of
all-
them.
yeah,
bro.
we covered all
we did
of them,
five
yeah.
of them, nigga.
So I think this is a good episode. We want to thank y'all for listening. This is the Hattage Underground. I'm Carl Cutter.
This is the motherfucking mighty Meta Baron.
This is Voice the Villain.
We all signing out.
Signing out.
Please like, comment, and share to anybody else that's willing to get in on the fuckery.
Yes.
And